So you're in your 50s and 60s, especially in your upper 60s and into your 70s, and you know that you've got a lot of stuff and you've got to get rid of it. And this can be a major problem, but in this video I'm going to give you 5 pointers to possibly help you deal with all of your stuff. And why is it a problem? Well, in the summer of 2021, my dad passed away, and at the same time, my mom, she had quite serious dementia that she couldn't stay by herself anymore, and there's another video about that. But what happened is, my dad was 87, and he didn't do anything at all to cut back on the things he accumulated, and it was a lot. I mean, he was into music, so he had a lot of guitars and instruments, and that was fine, you know. It's okay to do things. But he also had a small engine repair in the basement, and after he retired, and this meant that over the years he accumulated all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to get into it here, but I mean things as small as pieces of pipe to washers and nails and whatever, all of it unorganized, and to a 1950s backhoe tractor, IH330, so which hadn't been started for about 4 or 5 years after he passed away. Anyway, so what you're going to find is that is an incredible amount of work, and you're going to leave it to especially if you have children or spouse. It's too much. It's just too much stuff, because they're going to have a huge time trying to deal with it. In fact, I had made a tweet about it when I was on Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky now if you want to look me up there. But I had made a tweet about what I was struggling with and doing with, and the Globe and Mail contacted me and wanted to do an article, and I got put in the Globe and Mail, and they come down, they took some pictures of the place, and yeah, so, and I'm a cartoonist on the side, and I drew more for a hobby, actually, that is, and I drew a cartoon for it, but they didn't put that in the paper, but I might be able to share that cartoon here. And the cartoon, of course, doesn't even speak to the amount of mess they left me. So to get to some points to help you out, to start dealing with this now, it's going to help you, it's going to make you feel better, and you're going to know that your spouse or your kids, should the time come, they're going to have time to grieve about you. So the first point I've got for you is, if you have things that are large, like hand-me-down furniture, say from the, it looks like something from the 1800s that your great-grandmother had, some Victorian sofa or something, that shit was heavy. You have to get rid of that stuff, because unless it's the only furniture you've got to sit on, it's time to get rid of all that heavy furniture, those heavy hide-a-beds that you're not using, that are made from iron and steel. All that stuff should go, because just like it's going to be like, having 4 guys to show up like as pallbearers trying to carry this stuff out. Because I'm telling you, some of that old furniture is heavy. So I would say that's one of my first points, is to look at all this hand-me-down stuff that you got from other generations, heavy plates, china. That's some of the first and easiest stuff to go. And really, most young people today don't use that stuff. So they don't have room for it. Like my kids, they don't want it. They're kind of like, they're millennials, but they're also minimalists. And they don't want all that heavy stuff to carry in their new apartments or homes that they live in. So because today people carry light. I mean, that's why the smartphone is so popular. So try to get rid of those heavy things that you don't need, those old heirloom things. I mean, just put that on that's the first thing you can, all that big stuff, okay? And we're going to touch on vehicles here just in a minute. So what you need to do is set aside at least 2 piles. Get one pile for stuff that you don't need, okay? Like, and if you physically can't do it, then make a list of the things. So it could be like a pile, so to speak, that's in your mind, like a fictional pile, but you know what it is. You write it down on paper. Okay, so put down what you know that you don't need, or put it in a pile. And number two, put down a pile of, or make a list of things that you think you're not sure if you don't use them, but you're not sure if you need them. So you've already separated that. So what you do, once you start working on the stuff you know you don't need and nobody else wants, then you can start to get rid of that, and that's going to lighten your mental load. That's what this is about too, is it's about your mental load. You don't need to equate. I have a bee circling me here right now because I'm in the beautiful apple orchard of Nova Scotia, one of them, and they're attracted to all these blossoms that are around me, and they are also attracted to my white markings on my cap, and even with my little microphone set here, it had like this bright yellow color for the tab. I had to cover that over with black tape because they see that, they go nuts. It's the same color as a dandelion. Okay, so back to what we're doing here. So if you definitely don't need it, then you can get rid of it. So the next thing you want to do is you want to check with your kids. If you have kids or friends, that you think are gonna outlive you, or a good chance they will. And remember, you don't have to be superstitious. This doesn't mean, just because you're going through this, it doesn't mean you're shortening your life. I know people like that. They won't do a will because they think, oh, well, that's it. That's the end. If I do a will, then it's coming. Now, that's just superstition. Yes, of course, strange things happen, and they make Twilight Zone episodes about it and that kind of thing, or comic books like that, the ghosts that, come and get you. But basically, it's very rare and only coincidental if you do a will and you die the next day. You just get on with it and you get it done. So you want to check with your children. This is number 3. You want to check with your children to see if there's anything they want. And what they're going to do is they're going to do this pushback. Chances are they're not going to go, hey dad, hey mom, I want this particular thing. Most of them don't. I mean, maybe you get lucky and you'll have kids that will do that. But they are most likely going to say to you, oh no, I can't deal with it right now. But the thing is, what you want to do is get them to the point where they will at least name the things that they would want that you have, that they don't have to have it right away, but that way you don't want to get rid of it. Maybe it's a special old lamp, maybe it's some collectible you've had and they feel attached to you or it in some way. So there's what you do. You just write their name on it on a piece of tape and stick it underneath it, if it's a table or a lampshade, and that way their name is on it for when the time comes. Another thing to do is, I was thinking a lot about vehicles and heavy vehicles. Now, some of us may not even have a vehicle at our age. It's hard to say. But my dad, he was a mechanic, and so he had all kinds of lawnmowers and tractors, ride-on lawnmowers. And I mean, most of them were broken, so you didn't have to worry about legal papers on that. But that's the next thing I was thinking. If you have legal papers on vehicles, cars, my mom had dementia, so we found the registration form for one of their old cars they had. In order to do something with it, we had to find it, and it was buried in a grocery bag full of this, like when they send out these artists, Moth and Foot artists that paint things into charity, and Mom had tons of those cards in a bag. I mean, just packed. And when they left the house, we had to go through everything, and it was amazing just going through all that to find, that that's where the registration for a vehicle was. So make sure your papers are in, in a place like that has like a fireproof safety box with a small key. You don't have to be too fancy, or somewhere in a folder clearly marked that this is for the automobiles and this is for different things that you want to get rid of. Because to find those legal papers will make things go a lot faster. I know this sounds kind of morbid, but this is just life. I mean, some people call it the circle of life. It doesn't mean it's over. It just means you want to be a little bit more ready. It's kind of like you spent your whole life saving things. I don't know, maybe you weren't like that. Maybe you're a minimalist your whole life. But I tend to collect things and associate memories with certain objects. But this is the point of life. I can't tell you if it's 60, 65, 70. I mean, some of it depends on your health and maybe, you know, your family expectations, life expectancies, you know. But yeah, just you want to get it done and make the burden a little lighter. Do you remember that old movie back in the 70s? I think it was. It was called Logan's Run. It was a science fiction, and there was a place in it where they would go and see all these people, like they'd only live to be 35 or something, and then they would go up in this carousel and they'd get lighter and lighter, but, you know, to see if they could get reborn or something. Anyways, my point is, you're going to feel a lot lighter as you get rid of this stuff. You're going to feel like you're rising up. Okay, what do we got for another point here? We have, just basically, what do you do with it? You sell it, and then you can save that money or treat your grandkids to it. You donate it. You find a charity that might be interested in the furniture, in the extra toaster. I mean, in Mom and Dad's house, they must have had, I don't want to exaggerate, but they must have had at least three of these little toaster ovens is what I'm trying to say, yeah. And they had at least 3 of them. They didn't need 3, but they were just like, if they bought a new one, they tucked the old one away. All that stuff is a lot of work and expense to have somebody else come in and chuck it out. The more time it takes, the more expensive it's going to be for your kids. And do you really want your kids angry at you? I mean, come on. You died, you passed away. Maybe you do. Maybe you're that odd person that does. But, you know, if you're like me, I don't want them thinking, and my wife, you don't want them, their last thoughts of you is, insert curse words here. No, you don't want that. So, what do we have here? Okay, so it makes it much easier for you to do that. So you want to give it away, you want to donate it, you want to at least even put the stuff in your will if you're not ready to give it up, and sell it and put people's names on it, who it goes to, if it's been prearranged that's what you want. I'm getting a lot of sun here. Don't mean to be a little hidden, but so this is all going to make it easier for you, for your spouse, and for everyone. And this is not going to be a long video. I think that's about it. If you guys got any more points to put down, just write them down in the comments. Like the video and subscribe, and that way it can be shared with others who might be interested in this sort of type of topic, for people who are semi-retired or retired. And it's that time. It's just that time in life where we can just deal with these issues. Anyways, this is me coming from the beautiful valley. I'm not sure if you can see down there. I'll give you a little panoramic view. It's part of the orchard, and it's really beautiful here, especially today. But here in Nova Scotia, our temperatures change a lot. I mean, I'm wearing this little light sweater like thing, and we've had a frost warning last night, but it's all now it's getting hot. So this is what Nova Scotia weather is like. Anyways, from me, from all the bees up here and everything else is flying around. We do have eagles here too. You have a great one. Stay shiny. We'll see you in the next video. Okay, guys? Bye.